Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about the various elements of Western decline. And for some reason, despite how many videos I make on this topic, people still do not believe that the West is in decline. And so we're going to just look at various elements of this just to give you a sense for all the different realms where the West is in decline. And so to start off with, we're going to talk about the media. And remember that the West has become so dominant because of its cultural hegemony to a large extent. So media and entertainment are extremely valuable for creating global homogeneity and wiping out all other competitive cultures. And so we really have like 7-ish civilizations, and it's the West primarily that is wiping out the other civilizations. And we see that Western media and entertainment is in decline. And so its ability to dilute other cultures is also in decline because this is how they dilute other cultures. And so we see worldwide visits. I guess this is to the websites of the various organizations listed here. Worldwide visits for January 2024, year-over-year change. So think about that for a second. This isn't over a decade. This isn't even over a year. This is over a year, but it's 16.1% for Fox News, Washington Post 14.5%, CNN 16.1%, BBC 7.8%, CNNBC 16.7%, and Bloomberg 15.7%. So year over year, from one year to the next, so exactly a year, we are seeing a decline of double digits in nearly all cases aside from BBC. And so Western media outlets are just not as salient, they're not as prominent as they used to be. They used to be something that people listened to, and it decided the narrative, it decided the direction of nations, and now people are simply not listening anymore. But let's see what else we have. Okay, so I am from the suburbs of Pittsburgh. I'm from, my school was in the location where the Pittsburgh airport was. And so we see here Pittsburgh police will no longer respond to certain calls and will instead be redirecting people to a telephone unit. Okay, so when they talk about crime being down from decades prior, the reason crime is down is because crime is not being reported anymore. Crime is not being responded to anymore. Okay, and it's shocking, concerning. I would not consider Pittsburgh to be the most deep blue of cities. Despite that, it is essentially giving up on a lot of different types of crime and allowing it to just occur. And so we see here those crimes include thefts, harassment, criminal mischief, burglary, alarms, etc. Additionally, there will only be 20 police officers patrolling the entire city from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. This comes amidst staffing shortages. Wow, Pittsburgh is a huge city. To think that there are only 20 police officers throughout the entire city for 4-ish hours, that's ridiculous. That is insane. And if you are within this city, they've essentially just said that any thefts that occur, any harassment that occurs, any criminal mischief, any burglary alarms that go off, they're not going to respond to it anymore in Pittsburgh. They can't. I mean, I just don't know how a civilization can come back from this. It is very clear that people do not want to join law enforcement anymore, and I think with good reason. At this point, the people joining law enforcement are primarily people who like to bully others. And on top of that, you have a civilization that cannot protect its own people in a myriad of separate ways. It can't protect its own people when it comes to potential threats coming in from its southern border. It can't protect its own people if you're living in the city. There's no law enforcement officers to respond to that. And I just think we should think about this in the abstract for a second. What is the point? What is the intention of law enforcement officers? It's to protect people. Okay, that is the core intent. We are seeing that these law enforcement officers, they're not going to respond to threats or harassment, which might lead to actual violence. What they're going to respond to is giving you speeding tickets so that they can make more money for themselves, or they're going to respond when their oligarchical rulers, the robber barons that control them, tell them that some crimes occurred against the oligarchs. Okay. And so these law enforcement officers that are supposed to be for the people, to protect the people, to enforce the law, are going to be used how they've really traditionally been used in Western capitalistic systems, which is as enforcers for the oligarchs in charge of the West. And so it's extremely blatant now. They're not even trying to do other things. They're not trying to stop thefts against the average person. They're not trying to stop harassment against the average person. They are exclusively there to enforce the will of the oligarch. They are to stop the people from overthrowing the oligarchs that are destroying their nation. So yeah, it's interesting. And so we're going to look at another country just to kind of wrap up here. The United Kingdom is the second most miserable nation in the world, according to the Mental State of the World report. What is happening to Western civilization? They insist on lecturing other countries about how to act, what to do, what's moral and what's not moral. And yet we're seeing pervasive mental health medication usage, about a quarter of Americans. And then we're seeing other countries that this used to be, the United Kingdom used to be the superpower before the United States. They chose the United States as a successor. They didn't want Germany to be the successor to the United Kingdom. They chose America. They didn't want Russia to be the successor. And this former superpower within the last 100 years is the second most miserable nation in the world. Something is wrong with Western civilization, that this type of thing can happen, that life expectancy can be lower in America than in China, despite the wealth of America, that drug use, both legal and illegal drug use, is so astronomically high in places like America, that the former superpower, the United Kingdom, can be the second most miserable nation in the world. What is wrong with Western civilization? Thank you so much for investing your time in watching this video. If you found the content informative, be sure to show your support by giving us an upvote. Your engagement goes a long way in boosting our visibility within the algorithm. To stay ahead on the most pressing contemporary issues, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're committed to delivering up-to-date, thought-provoking content on a daily basis, and we want you to be a part of this journey. Also, your thoughts matter to us, so please share any comments, questions, concerns, and/or critiques in the comment section below. I personally read each one and I respond when necessary. Given the nature of our content, where we expose the actions of the oligarchs who exploit the masses, intentional suppression in the algorithm is an unfortunate reality. If you believe in our mission, you can help by spreading the word. Tell your friends about our content. Let's amplify the voices of those that challenge the status quo. Speaking of amplifying voices, I need your help. As many of you know, I gave up a lucrative career in the fastest growing field and the highest paying subfield of psychology in the United States to move to the Philippines to provide content that I think is important for my viewers to hear. I left so I could avoid repercussions for speaking about topics that are taboo in the United States. This decision came with significant financial sacrifices, but your support can help sustain the work we do. Check out the links in the description for how to support our channel. Every contribution, big or small, is genuinely appreciated. Finally, as a channel, we stand with the people of Palestine. We believe in their freedom, and by supporting us, you can contribute to this shared vision. Thank you for being a part of our community. Your viewership is invaluable, and I genuinely hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.